The chamber, it's all about the intangible. It's all about the intangible. It's relationships. That's really what it is all day.
Welcome to the Southside Show, your local news and information source for Atlanta's South Side.
Welcome to the Southside Show. I'm your host, R.D. Jones III. The Southside Show will introduce you to the talented individuals, visionary leaders, innovative entrepreneurs, and game changers that make a Southside strong. Today's guest is Miss Valencia Williamson, President of the Clayton County Chamber of Commerce. Welcome, Valencia.
Hey, good morning. Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
All right, great. Well, I would like to start our interview off to have you to kind of introduce yourself to our Southside Show guests. Please tell us about where you're from, kind of where you grew up, and a little bit about your background.
All right, thank you. So I am originally from Northwest Florida, Defuniak Springs. I like to tell people it's 20 miles north of the Gulf. So if you're headed to Destin, which is the buzzword that everybody likes to use when they're going to visit, Northwest Florida, we're in Defuniak Springs, right on Highway 331. You can't miss us. You have to pass through our bedroom community in order to get there. So we're right between Pensacola and Tallahassee.
So is that where you actually grew up at?
Grew up, born and raised in the small town, and absolutely love it. My parents are still there. We've got a ton of family. We come from a really big family, so we've got a lot of family there. And everybody knows everybody's name. Everybody knows what everybody's doing. So it's just one of those places that feels good. I'm a small town girl, and it's so ironic that I'm here now because I generally, or have liked to say that I thrive in a small town.
Right.
Yeah, I thrive in making a difference in a small community. So to be in such a large community now, it's kind of funny to me. But I'll get to that in a moment because the community that I'm in, the community that I'm serving in, feels like a small town. Even though it is large, it feels like a small town.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So where did you go to school?
Florida A&M.
Bam.
Yeah, absolutely. So I did my undergrad at FAMU, got a bachelor's in agricultural business and economics, and I was there for about 3.5 years. I was in a big rush to get out and be an adult. If I could roll back that clock, I'd tell people just hang on, enjoy it, live in the moment, enjoy being in school while you can. There's a lot of good things happening there, but a lot of lessons there. So met a lot of great friends that I'm still, in contact with today. Some are here, which is great. Right. But I am a diehard Rattler. For those Rattlers out there, we watch that football every Saturday, and we travel too, so it's a big deal. And then after that, I actually came to Atlanta for about 2.5 to 3 years. It was a little fast-paced for me at the time, young 20-something-year-old, just out of college, and world at her fingertips, not really sure what I wanted to do. And my parents just weren't having it. They were like, it's time for you to come home. We got to get you grounded, regrouped. And that was the best decision that I've ever made. It was life-changing for me. So although, I went kicking and screaming back home, that's where I fell into the Chamber of Commerce world, and I've been here ever since. So this is my 17th year serving and as a Chamber of Commerce professional, and I like to tell people I've done absolutely every job in the organization. I've answered phones. I still answer the phones, actually. Sometimes when you call our office, you'll catch me on the phone, and people are always so surprised. But the thing about it is you got to be willing to do everything in order to really absorb and learn what it is that you say you're passionate about doing. So 17 years in the Chamber world. I've worked for 3 organizations.
17 years.
Yeah.
Man, you look very young.
Thank you. The one gray hair I got on the side says otherwise. But, I've worked for 3 organizations. Santa Rosa Beach, Florida, I worked there at the Walton Area Chamber of Commerce. That's where I cut my teeth. And spent 5 years there, and then went to Hattiesburg, Mississippi. And I'd never even darkened the state line of Mississippi before. And everybody, family, friends, everyone, business colleagues, questioned why I was going. And it was because I wanted to learn the economic development and community development aspects of our business. And so I realized that in order for a Chamber of Commerce to be sustainable, to really thrive, you can't just cut ribbon and you can't just host a business after hours. You've actually got to make change in your community. You got to have a seat at the table, and you got to be a driver of what's happening. And so I went to work with the Area Development Partnership in Hattiesburg, which was a regional Chamber of Commerce and Economic Development agency agency serving a 3-county region in South Mississippi.
Okay.
Worked for them for 10 years. Went and planned to only be there for about 3 already, and was like, you know what, I don't know about this thing, and fell in love with the community and the people and the work we were doing. But when I checked off all those boxes and I looked back over the years at all the things that we'd accomplished, I knew it was time. And right around that time is when the Clayton Chamber called. So I've been here since 2020.
Okay.
Came in the middle of the pandemic in July. Again, everybody thought I was crazy for leaving such a great job and a great situation. We were riding high at my old organization, at my previous organization. We were riding high and about to embark upon a $4 million capital campaign in the middle of that pandemic, and they ended up raising that money. But I knew that in order to fulfill my dream, I needed to step out on faith, and I needed to come to a community and an organization that was on the cusp of busting through. And I felt like Clayton County had just the ingredients and just the pieces and compartments needed in order to get to the level that they thrive to be at, or they're striving to be at. Strategically located, that all makes sense, and you know all those stats. That makes sense to me. And being a suburb of Metro Atlanta makes sense. It's going to be growing and bustling with people and businesses.
Right.
And it was also poised the organization for new leadership. And with me coming into the organization, I could fulfill some goals that I wanted to fulfill both personally and professionally. And so it was a good fit.
Right.
And here I am.
Okay.
Long story, but
hey, that's very thorough. So you had been here in Atlanta for 3 years and went back home and then had several jobs and then you came back. What was different about what made Clayton County the right place at this time to come back and to lead the organization?
So I said it was the right fit because the leadership, and I say the leadership, I mean the board, the executive committee, the search committee, they were able to cast a vision of what they want the community and the business community to look like and how the chamber could play a role in that. Okay. And the work that I had done, both at Walton Chamber and Area Development Partnership,
with economic development.
That's correct, had teed me up for it. And so, for example, and this is just a small example, but Clayton Chamber has a really robust leadership development program. Well, I'd run our leadership development program at my previous organization for 10 years and really built it. And so I knew I'd be able to take their leadership program to the next level. Also, the growth of Clayton County and how, more and more people are moving into our communities. We're wanting to go after certain types of employers in our communities. I felt like with my experience in other communities and my ability to build relationships with agencies outside of the chamber, before the interview we were talking about elected officials, public, private sector, nonprofit organizations. That's what we do all day. And you got to have a strong leader at the chamber who understands the ecosystem and understands all the players and is able to connect with people and communicate that message. And so our chamber had some turbulence, and so the leadership wanted to really rebrand ourselves as not only a voice of business, but of credibility. Right. And I knew that if I got in there and communicated that message and built those relationships, the programs would come, the members would come, the people would come, and there goes the credibility. So yeah, that's really what drew me. It was just a great match for us, and I loved their vision.
Right. Well, it's very interesting that you mentioned, I guess, economic development also, and it's a big part of what chambers do. Historically, chambers have, like you said, been there for ribbon cuttings. They've been there to kind of shake hands and welcome people in, and business after hours and other types of, educational and business type support programs. But things are moving closer to that economic development. Even the CVBs. And convention and visitors bureaus, we all work together in that same realm. I've been in economic development for 23 years, so I know exactly what you're talking about. So tell me, what are some of the goals that you have right now for the Clayton County Chamber moving forward? Okay,
and so I talked about the building or rebranding of our credibility. I talked about that component. And I think chambers across the country also recognized that during the pandemic, they had to shift. They had to pivot from kind of the old traditional chamber, the golf tournament, the events, okay, great. And those are wonderful things. We still do them. They're wonderful things. But they had to add meat to the bone and show tangible results of how the chamber's working in the community. One way that we've done that out of the gate, and we've partnered with our Office of Economic Development in Clayton County to do it, is through our small business efforts, small business development. And so a lot of chambers sat and identified ways that they could create what we call post-pandemic sustainability. And how the Clayton Chamber has done that is, I think we have spread our tentacles wide to say, okay, Clayton County Board of Commissioners, we realize that you have dollars from CARES Act funding or ARPA funding. Let's utilize those dollars to give back to our small businesses to help not only just give them a shot in the arm with grants, but let's also create some training and education and mentoring programs.
Right.
So that's really where the Chamber has played a big role. Now, our Office of Economic Development has done a great job of providing grants to our small businesses that have really helped them. Where the Chamber plays a supporting cast role is we do the training. Right. So we think that we work in tandem with our county so that we're not working in a silo, and we realize that there are other organizations that are doing small business training. What we do as a chamber is try to collectively pull those people together so that we can hear what everyone's doing, so that we don't necessarily duplicate the efforts, but we promote the efforts. The chamber takes one portion, SBDC takes another, the library system takes a part of it, and then we have some other smaller groups that get engaged and they do some training as well. And so where the chamber may not be able to get everyone in the room for the training on, this month, maybe we send you to some of the other trainings happening in the county, or we make you aware of those. So we realize that that's part of our role, is to help build our community development efforts through our partners, such as our economic development partners in the county.
Okay. Is there anything that the Clayton County Chamber is doing that's unique? Tell us a little bit about that.
Absolutely. We always got something going on. And I'm really excited about this because, again, this ties into our workforce training efforts. We have a partnership with Atlanta Technical College and Clayton County Public Schools through their CTAE, where we host a hands-on Pathways Expo for 8th graders. So a lot of people say, well, why 8th graders? Why are you touching them? Well, because we're planting the seed before they go to 9th grade, where they will then have to select a pathway, if you will. And so we felt like if we plant that seed early, you're not catching kids in high school where there are other organizations such as like an Aerotropolis, ATL Alliance, who's doing a great program right now with 10th and 11th graders, or maybe it's 11th and 12th. But the point is, we feel like if we have a touch point at middle school, and then we know some of our other external partners in the region have other touch points, we're playing another role in being able to create a pipeline for workforce. So what we've done is we specifically linked up with Atlanta Technical College because of their technical careers that align nicely with those pathways.
Right.
And they have the labs. So the kids can get kind of an instructional from the college. And then what we do is bring in business partners to pair them with each pathway so they can put their hands on an activity. Because still in the 8th grade, they're a little immature at 8th grade. They still want to play a game or have an activity. And so we want to make sure the kids have hands on. So that's something unique we're doing, and we're touching over 850 students a year on that program. Now, we've got 2,000 8th graders in Clayton County. We understand that's not even scratching the surface, 850 students.
That's significant though.
That's correct. It is significant, but it's hard for us to say who comes and then who stays on the sidelines.
Right.
So that's conversation that we're continuing to have, and we'll look and see how we can continue to expand the program.
Yeah, okay, all right. Well, Dr. Beasley has been a guest here on our show, and Erica Rocker with Clayton County, and Chairman Turner and everything. And this show is all about shining, spreading the word on the positive things that are going on the South Side, and also those individuals and organizations that are that are movers and shakers. What are some of the obstacles that you see here on the South Side as you try to grow as a chamber?
Understanding, I guess, educating is the biggest piece for us. Educating our business owners, the business community, of the value of a chamber of commerce.
Yeah, I was about to mention that. I said, what is the value add of a chamber?
That's correct.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest obstacle, I think, is educating people on the value of the chamber. So often, our small business owners are, running their business, they're doing their daily operations, and they've got expenses, they got payroll, and they've got, trying to get revenue and increase their bottom line. And then the chamber swoops in and says, hey, we can do this, this, and this for you, meaning we can provide exposure opportunities for your business, we can do referrals, we can do some extended marketing for you, and help to build relationships, connect you to people.
Yes.
And sometimes that doesn't resonate because what they need is something tangible that they can put in their hands to say, I spent or I invested money in this membership. I need something in my hands.
That return on investment.
That's correct, to show for it. And so often the chamber, it's all about the intangible. It's all about the intangible. It's relationships. That's really what it is all day. So we work with a number of small businesses. That's the 82% of my membership is small businesses. And I'm not going to be able to touch all 82% of those small businesses, but the ones that I impact, it's not because I put something physical in their hands. It's because I've made a connection. I make more connections with people. I do it all day, every day. Valencia, who can you connect me with that I can get in front of to tell about my business? And we have a conversation. I spend time with our members and share that strategy with them. It's invaluable. They love it when they make that connection because it's on them. They got to go sell their business. I can't do that for them. I can't do business development for every member, or else I'll be out of business. But I can help make connections and help you to get in front of the right people so that then you can sell your business, your product, and move ahead. And I think that's where our members are really finding value with us.
Okay. So what is Clayton County Chamber's biggest accomplishment to your knowledge?
Biggest accomplishment
to date?
Oh my gosh, and I'm the most humble person you'll ever meet. So it's kind of hard for me to tout my wares. Let me see here, golly, what have we've done so much, Artie. I was very proud to bring in the president of ABC News last year for our keynote speaker. Absolutely, I was really thrilled for that.
That's impressive.
Yeah, for the annual gala. Yeah, so for the last couple of years.
And before I forget, you need to get me some invites also.
Invites to our gala?
Yeah. Some of your events. Like I said, I'm still.
You golf? Nah.
I have golf clubs. I look like a golfer.
Yeah.
I don't like golf.
Okay.
But I do come out and support though.
Okay.
So
yeah, when I figured you might golf, when you were put together like a golfer, would be. I shouldn't have stereotyped you.
I fool a lot of people like that.
I should not have done that.
Yeah.
So anyway, no. Some of our signature events are like our golf tournament we had, and it's fresh on my brain because it's Monday. But our annual gala is our largest event of the year, and that's our annual meeting and kind of our awards night where we honor our members for their leadership and their service in the community. And so very, very pleased because the last couple of years we've brought in really high level speakers, national speakers, and that's the level that we need to be at. And so that's really the message that our chamber is communicating to our business community is that not only do you deserve to have top quality programs and high quality speakers, but we're going to bring it to you. You don't just deserve it. We're going to bring it to you as your chamber.
Right.
That's what you're supposed to have, because guess what? Chambers on Northside have it.
That's a value.
That's value.
Definitely a value.
That's value.
That's something that's going to attract people.
Yes, absolutely. And so we're going after a really big name right now, and we'll be announcing that hopefully, fingers crossed, by the end of the month. So I'm excited about that. We just want to keep the momentum going, Artie, and continue to add value and provide opportunities both personally and professionally. I'm really big on that. Personal and professional opportunities to people. I care about people, and I'm in the people business, so we want to make sure that we're taking care of our community in ways that maybe they haven't been nurtured in the past.
Okay. So one word that would sum up the Clayton County Chamber and why?
Oh, man. Woo-wee. I wish y'all would have peppered me with some questions before. Y'all should have prepped me. Let me see. One word to sum us up, huh?
Yes.
Dynamic,
Okay.
And that's probably not the best one. I'll think of more when I get in my car and drive back to the office. Dynamic. I think that we punch above our weight class at Clayton Chamber. We do. We punch above our weight class, and our members know it. Yeah, they're proud to be a member of Clayton Chamber. I will tell you that we're on the move in terms of our membership growing. I have a goal to double our membership in 3 years. I'm in year 2, and we're headed there. So we're headed there fast. And so it's not just about the number of members that we have, quantities. Okay, great. It's just something you can say, hey, you know, we got the members.
Quality.
It's the quality of the member. It's the quality of what we're offering as well. You know, so we're not being selective on who we bring into the chamber. Anybody's welcome. It's open for everyone. But we do, when you are a member, we want you to get what you signed up for.
Yeah.
And if you don't, call me.
And you get what you put into it also.
That's true. You got to put a little something into it as well. You can't just expect it all to come to you.
Right.
And so that's why it's important that we set the expectation. So I do think that makes us a very dynamic organization. And that's exactly what our leadership set out to achieve 2 years ago when they hired me. When they said specifically, when chambers around the metro are listed, we want Clayton to be in the discussion. We want Clayton to come up in conversation. And I can't tell you how many times we have in these last 2 years in conversations around the metro come up in discussion. And so we're reaching our tentacles out there and we're doing exciting things and creating programs that may not have been traditionally created because we have diverse members who have unique needs. And they require us to be nimble and flexible and able to accommodate them.
Okay, all right. Well, I know that you guys are, if a Southside Show guest was interested in being a part of the chamber or either participating in some of the events, how might they be able to do that?
They can do that through our website. So www.claytonchamber.org is the best way to, I think, see all that we have going on. The best way to connect us is to call us. Call us up. We've got a great team. I've got a great team. And we are all very personable. We love to meet in person. We're a little old school in that regard.
Right.
And so call us up. We're at 678-610-4021. But most definitely check us out on our website. Our story is there. That's where the story is. That's where all of the events are and programs. You get to see what we're doing.
Okay, all right. And do you have any last words to leave with our Southside Show guest?
Yeah, absolutely. I've always got something. So, what I will say is, first of all, thank you for having me again. But if you're looking for opportunities for growth and not really sure where to go, looking to get plugged in, looking to get connected, not necessarily a business owner, maybe you're retired, or maybe you're, just moved to the community, the chamber is always the place to start. And we've got great chambers on the South Side. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention my friends, South Fulton Chamber, ATL Airport Chamber, Henry County Chamber, Fayette Chamber. We're all in this together. We're a 5-chamber region, if you will. We do some joint events together. It's a partnership. When they win, we win. It's no I, it's them, and it's a team. And so anyway, I just want to say start with your chamber first and look us up. Don't miss an opportunity.
All right. Well, thank you, Valencia Williamson, President of the Clayton County Chamber. I appreciate all that you do, and I'm really looking forward to getting out and participating in some of your events and seeing all the great work that you guys are doing.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Great. And that's a wrap, folks. My time is up. My name is Artie Jones, and I'm the host of the Southside Show, bringing you the latest and the greatest that the Southside has to offer. And if you don't remember anything else from this episode, please remember this. Don't sleep on the Southside. Take care.